Welcome to Evilive, the live media commentary show that answers the question exactly what needs must when the devil drives. Subscribe if you're new to the channel because today we're reviewing What We Do in the Shadows, Season 4, Episode 3, The Grand Opening.
Yes.
All right, man. What are your initial thoughts of this
fucking
episode?
God, just so fucking great. I love this show. Everything about it. And honestly, the biggest thing is, one, like, man, the fucking caretaker person, she looks oddly great. And two, I want to become a wraith when I die. That shit looks fun as hell.
I wonder if the guide ever just sort of gets with a random wraith. You know, like, you work in a sort of office situation long enough, you start to have these subconscious attractions to the people you're working with. I mean, one thing can lead to another. You think she ever hooked up with a wraith?
Given her past, I would be very surprised if she hadn't.
She was quite flamboyant
Yes.
in her previous life. Right. Yeah, I love this too. I think this is it was, I mean, we're going to get into it here in a second, but it was what I always thought of whenever I saw it, like a 3-wish genie scenario. You're always like, oh, what, who? Let's define parameters here. Let's take our time and really get down to the nitty and gritty.
God, just so fucking awesome.
I do not want a penis on the end of my own penis. I don't want you to make everyone else's penis smaller so that my penis thereby looks larger.
So good. And then he's like, damn, that's
like,
what I was going to do.
That's my go-to move. I've been doing it to white men for ages. All right. So this was...
need to quit finding genie lamps, just saying.
We need to go to scavenger hunts. I feel like we would find it if we went to more... Do you hear that?
Nope.
Dogs barking? Right outside my window. Mad fucking dog barking. Okay. This is directed by Kyle Newacek, written by Sam Johnson and Chris Marcille, and it premiered July 19. All right, you want to walk through what we did, what we saw?
Yeah, this is the great opening of the fucking vampire nightclub. So fucking funny as Nadia's building up the hype, like just killing it. Like, hey, you guys ready for this shit? This is me. I love this. Blah blah blah. Just building it up, trying to put so much hype into something, and then of course, last second, the entertainment is just canceled.
Richie Suck.
Yeah, Richie Suck, the greatest vampire rapper ever.
It feels like a throwback to, like, I don't want to project here. I came up in the 90s, and so it was like gangster rap was the rap of the age. So if you're really into gangster rap, you're probably a redheaded stepchild white kid who wore like really baggy clothes and thought you were really dope. You were OG gangster. I had friends like this. And no, you're just a redheaded step kid. It's just fucking no one cares about. And you just are really into something that you think will make you cool and does not, in fact, make you cool. And in fact, it actually has diminishing returns of coolness. You think it makes you cool, but it makes you so much less cool because you think it makes you cool. That's what rap does to fucking white dudes.
Well, and then it gets even worse because then the rappers that were once cool become, children's TV show stars. Or work side by side with Kevin Hart. The opposite of badass.
The living Muppet.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Kermit's got his hand up there.
I will not argue that point. Okay, so back to Richie Suck.
Yeah,
this guy,
is a great interaction.
This is amazing. So he's played by Affian Crockett. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. But his familiar is fucking Fred Armisen. Fuck! Like, of all the great comedians to play his familiar, it's fucking Armisen. Like, that's amazing. I can't believe... strike that. I'm always surprised at the rando comedians they get to come and cameo on this show. And this guy who did Portlandia is just fucking gold as the asshole fucking familiar that takes control of his master.
Mm-hmm.
Just in the most beautiful way. And for what reason? To promote his trio jazz fucking
yeah.
band.
I mean, it's life-changing, man. They're amazing.
It's so stupid. I love it so much. They're like giving him virgin blood. He's like, oh, I'd like that. And fucking, what's the guy's name? Tom, Dr. Tom. He's like, no, you don't need that. You're not even hungry. And Nadja's like straight up, what do you, shut up, familiar. You don't deserve to speak. Like, what is happening?
I know we'll get to it, but that was seriously my favorite part of the episode. Diagnose this. Well, those are middle fingers.
He is a good doctor.
Oh God, this shit's so good.
Stupid. I thought that was amazing. I love that so much. What, like, right now we're struggling with the. I mean, we have to understand all of this is done, presumably, in order to fix the goddamn house, because the boy who crawled out of the cavity that was once fucking
Colin Robinson.
Thank you, Colin Robinson, is growing up rapidly. And there's this weird moment that from time to time I see myself in, where it's Colin Robinson, or the boy who crawled out, doing a YouTube show about Legos, and I see myself, and I'm like, why am I doing this?
Right. It's like, that motherfucker's got 2 viewers? Jesus, we're doing this shit wrong.
It's gold. He's a hero. He's
really
blowing up. As soon as you started talking about Ewok villages, I sort of stopped thinking, and I just went, wait a second, what can you do with Ewok villages? What is he talking about? What possibilities are there with Lego Ewok villages that I have not yet explored, and why do I feel this incessant desire to thus explore them? Like, I need that in my life.
Yeah, that's the hooker, man.
I would be his 3rd subscriber.
Or the hook. Whatever. It's a hooker.
If I could get a hooker to play with Legos in the Nandor set, I would be down. Or
she probably wouldn't judge you.
Is it Ewok hookers? I mean, it's
Even
weird, but
better.
I would still watch it. I'd still participate. I mean, I would wear a condom. I'm not a
you would have to at least watch.
Yeah. Weird. This is getting weird. All right. What happens next?
All right. So from there, we go back to the club, right?
Yeah.
Was the club that we went to? Yeah.
I mean, we got to get to the gin eventually, but yeah, I think it leads with the club, right?
Yeah, because that's when we go back to the club and Nadia's actually going into the set. This is right before, well, I guess we jumped ahead. Anyway, she's talking to Nandor going to see the vampire rapper, and he's just so down and out because his wife's perfect in every way, but he wants to be perfect for her. And that's when the gin comes in, because, well, what do you do when you want to be perfect? Clearly you ask for a bigger penis.
Bigger dick is the answer.
And then the great part is, the spoiler at the end is the gin's like, dude, I only added like 20% of that. That's like, fuck you. But that list that they had to go through, the back and forth, was so goddamn funny, because it's like, that's what you should do. Like, just take note. If you ever get a monkey paw or you ever find fucking land, you need to be thorough and specific, which they were. And then, because of Nandor's offhand comment, well, now he can't get excited unless he thinks about Guillermo. And that's fucking hilarious.
Which is just perfect, because there's obviously this existing tension between the two. Like, you know, Guillermo wants to be a vampire, but then I think there's also something about him wanting to be with Nandor as a vampire. And then there's this sort of the interplay, like, you know, going back to season 1, when Nandor for Guillermo's birthday is like, I have a certain present for you. And he thinks he's going to be turned into a vampire. It ends up being a glitter picture of the two of them together. Like, that just says it all, set up from the very beginning. Like, this is the relationship. They are together, whether they like it or not. And all of the frustration, all of the angst. And it harkens back to sort of a prepubescent Adam, where I'm like, I just want to be with, I want to feel what it's like to have, you know, be intimate relations. That's what I call it, of course. Fucking medical dictionary all the way for me.
Fucking nerd.
Intimate relations with someone. And you sort of get caught up in the connection. Guillermo, and then the tease we got either 1 or 2 episodes back where Guillermo has a relationship, and I think it's with a dude, which then makes total sense why he's with Nandor and he can't actually get rid of him, or he can't walk away from this master familiar relationship.
Well, we get it in the beginning of this episode as well. He's on the phone like right before they're going to the club, and yeah, pretty sure that's a man.
Yeah,
like the voice, and it's a real quick "I love you," and then it's like, oh shit, phone's hung up.
Beep. Yeah, I love that there's this sort of unspoken connection, and there was an interview that I watched on the intertubes that also touched on that idea, though it didn't give any final answers or anything like that. But it's nice to see that there is this sort of global awareness, as it were, that is probably a future occurrence. We know that Nandor is into anything, and Guillermo apparently is into Nandor. So let's see where this goes. And there's this one. I mean, just the fact that once they nail down the wish parameters, and
so good,
it is fulfilled. Nandor's like, Guillermo, come look at my dick. Look at this. And Guillermo's like, no, I shouldn't. No, I don't want to. No. Do you think that, this is sort of weird speculation bullshit, but will they ever be together? Is it something that Guillermo is actually wanting and he's sort of pushing away from because he finds himself in a new relationship? Like, what are the Dawson's Creek parameters of this triangle of love that we're finding ourselves in with Nandor, Guillermo, and unspoken person number 3?
I think the Nandor, it's going to always be the forbidden fruit. And it's more so the idea of it that gets him than actually getting him. And especially with a new person on the way, like, it might not happen.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we already know that he's never going to become a vampire.
Yep.
Like, he can't.
Yep.
Because then that just throws off the entire dynamic of everything. And it probably wouldn't be as funny. But, yeah, I think the Nandor will always be like the what if.
What is it with guys thinking that the best solution to everything is bigger dick?
I mean, that's the solution, right?
I mean, aside from it being fact, it seems like it's an ingrained reaction, right? Like, we're just like, well, I could listen to you more, or I could just get a bigger dick.
Because there's motherfuckers like that exist like that. They don't have looks, they don't have personalities, but hey, they got a huge dick and that fucking works for them.
Good for them. The rest of us have to listen.
Yeah.
We have to be present. And it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Where's my gin? Give me a goddamn lamp. We need to go like scavenger. We got to go to some flea markets.
I'm fucking 100% down.
I'm talking like Redwood Road flea markets.
Hell yeah. Like the sketchier, the better, man.
Man. I just imagine like going around rubbing random lands. They're like, it's not going to work. I've gone both ways. Clockwise and
oh my god. See, at that point, like if somebody said that shit, you would have to buy it just out of principle. It's like, oh, okay, you get it. Fuck.
I like how I mean, sort of proceeding with the episode, Nadja treats this rapper star in the exact same way that she treats everyone else, even though he is doing the ultimate favor for her by showing up at her brand new burgeoning venue. She just treats him like a piece of shit. Like, what are you doing? Listen to this horrible fucking, ridiculous, familiar nothing. Like, you should, they're bugs. You shouldn't even pay any attention to them. You tell them what to do. They do it. Why are you? And it's all because of the music industry. He's just primed to be controlled because of this music industry. Like,
I mean, that was the joke, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, that makes sense.
It's kind of sad to me.
It's fucking very sad. Because, yeah, that's true.
There's this weird moment between, like, me growing this sense of pity for this rapper up until he reveals what his real passion is.
Yeah.
It just turned on a dime.
Well, and that's the best part. Like, that was when chaos fucking broke. He's like, you ready for some fucking observational comedy? And everybody's just like, oh, shit. And then he starts going, and it's just like the traditional late 80s, early 90s, just terrible. Whoa, what's this deal with airplanes?
Just
fucking awful. And then a riot breaks out. Like, just some random guy hops up there and fucking starts shoving around Nadja. Like, great fun.
Yeah. Get off the stage. Don't hit my wife. Like, just fucking moving out. And I love that she was sort of catering this sort of performance from the very beginning. She encouraged him to break out of this gaslighting, abusive relationship with his familiar. He finally throws his familiar to the crowd and just like, eat him, and they consume his jazz-loving Fred Armisen familiar. And then he goes to comedy, and everyone turns on him instantly.
Yeah, that shit was so funny.
It's like the ultimate, like, fuck you to every artist, performer ever. Like, you do what we like, or fuck you. Like, we only care about you as long as you're going to return to what we like about you. Until, like, the second that you change that, we turn against you, and we want nothing to do with you. Is there an artist that you've experienced in your life, like, you loved one moment, and the next moment you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yep.
Yes,
Michael Graves. Used to love that man. I mean, I still love his music and shit, but then he went like super crazy fucking Proud Boy Nazi shit. It's like,
really?
It's like, well, all right, so fuck this guy.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, mine was Metallica. when they came back with their Load album or something. If you're gonna name an album Load, expect it to be a pile of shit. I mean, it's in the name.
Yeah, because you would hope that it's a load of semen. Like, oh, you're gonna cream your pants, but nope, you're gonna shit yourself because it's just so bad.
I was expecting a bucket of cum, and I got a bucket of shit instead.
I mean, that's what it was, and then to follow it up with Reload. Come on,
unimaginative bullshit.
Yeah.
No, fuck them.
It was the perfect precursor to Saint Anger.
Ugh. It's just like, you were once mediocre and good in a mediocre sense, and now you are nothing. What is wrong with you? And that is exactly what happened to fucking Sammy Suck, Johnny Suck, Richie Suck. Who gives a fuck suck?
Yeah.
This fucking dude. But then we get the sort of shining weird light of this episode. With the boy.
So goddamn funny. Just randomly pops up on stage, and it's like, oh, there's a microphone. Time for some show tunes. And the best part is he's not even just singing. He's also explaining what he's singing. It's like, that fucking nerd.
But his tap shoes are like bottle caps, too. He was just like stepping on bottle caps in order to do the fucking two-step. Oh, it was great. I love this so much.
Find out that that's just what vampires are into for some weird reason.
I love it because, like, at first it's like this obscure, like, just weird connection. And I just like the exploitive nature of it.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. She goes right back to just being like, I'm going to get money.
It's so funny. But everyone is transfixed. Like, everyone. It's like, this is amazing. What is happening? And all I can see is the head moving separately from the body at random points. And I can't just justify that this is a human being. It's constantly like, oh, they didn't pay money for effects. Like, ironically, on the channel of FX, they don't pay for that.
Well, and we talked about it with the last episode, but it's like, it fits so fucking well. It is terrible, and it shouldn't work in any level. Like, any other fucking television show did this shit, you would immediately stop watching it. With this, it's like, oh, that's fucking funny. Cool. I'll take more of it.
In my headcanon, the body of Colin Robinson is the man from Children of the Corn that was the boy of Children of the Corn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's definitely his body. Doing a fucking two-step, just fucking, Malachi, I have spoken. Like, this is 100% him.
Hell yeah.
I would love that so much. Who's this kid? I want to know who the body guy is. Like, I want to see the real head, because he's got to just be like this silent hero who can tap dance, who can fucking take cues from the most, like, fucking, who is it? Is it Laszlo? Like, who throws him in the dumpster? Like, this guy is just physically and emotionally abusing this kid who doesn't give a fuck. There is like a solid, I hope this isn't telling too much about me or my family, moment where he's like sort of mission impossibling the kid into the sort of, I don't know, a museum or something, trying to teach him how to be a man. I don't know, how to be interesting. And the kid is always saying, is it guess what? Or there's a preface to everything he says, and I think it's guess what or something.
Hey,
like
Laszlo. Hey, Laszlo. Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what?
And he's like, stop saying fucking guess what. Just say what you want to fucking say. I don't need to hear the guess what part. I identify with it.
Yeah, 100% Like, that is my daily work life.
Oh, really?
It drives me insane that people call and like, I have a couple of questions. I know. That's why you fucking called me.
You called me.
Ask.
That's the assumption.
It's like, I know you got questions. That's why I answered the telephone.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst. They're just stating the obvious all the time, and it makes me hate humanity that much more. It's just fucking real. It's too real. It's too real.
And then nobody says bye. So then I just hang up. It's like, hopefully I didn't hang up on this person like an asshole.
Beep. All right, so she opens the nightclub. It sort of goes south for a bit. Then the boy saves it and becomes a headliner, and that's
Well, and more importantly than that, he also is finally accepted by Laszlo.
Right.
Because in the beginning of the episode, he's of course doing his film, and Laszlo's like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And Guillermo's like, "Oh well, you know, he's into Legos, he's into Roblox, he's into this, and he's into." And then that's when Laszlo's like, "Well, he's into what the fuck was that?" Musical theater. Musical theater. That's one of the worst forms of art. Blah blah blah. So of course that is throughout the entire, B storyline as it was.
Great.
And then he's finally accepted at the end, and it's like, oh, cute.
It is sort of like a full circle from the end of the last season to now, where Laszlo was doing everything he could. I have to say his last name, Cravensworth. Was doing such a great last name.
It fucking really is.
I need to change my last name to Cravensworth. It'd be so awesome. To wanting to change him to accepting him. And that's literally every child's dream, is just to be accepted by whatever parental figure that they have available to them. Yep. Like, I'm not a copy of you. I'm not a mold of you. I have my own interests and whatever. Can you not just accept that and just be proud of who I am as an individual? And to see, of all the shallow creatures, a fucking vampire come to that, it really, just as a human being, connects me with Colin Robinson all that much more, because there's that shared experience that we have that we will never have with the vampires, because, Colin Robinson was so different from the rest of them. It's like, oh, he's finally, they accept him for who he is. They didn't in life. They avoided him at all costs, and who knows, maybe they will again. But still, in this moment, dance your little ass off, boy.
Fuck yeah. It's the black sheep finally fucking winning.
So good.
Behind that.
This show is just so goddamn amazing. All right, so what were your favorite parts of this?
Again, said it earlier, just the diagnose this. Like, that's so goddamn just like, that is the essence of Nadja, and I fucking love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my favorite was just seeing Fred Armisen. Like, first of all, I didn't expect him to ever show up in this. Like, it was just a random one-episode, one-off thing. But he's such a... I don't even particularly like him as, like...
Yeah, I don't like him.
Like, at all.
I thought it was funny.
But it was just the perfect fit for him, because he's so weird and obscure and sort of left field type personality. It just fit perfectly for a fucking Dr. Tim, who is also a DJ and manages a trio of jazz singers who wants to get this fucking super popular vampire rapper to front for them.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? So crazy and weird. It shouldn't work, but it did for me.
Really did.
Yeah, my favorite part was definitely the Fred. What about your least favorite part? Did you have one for this episode?
Not really that I could think of. I mean, it's hard with this show because I'm such a super fan that I would have to really try to pin something down to not like. But then as I would explain it, I realized, no, I do like it.
Yeah.
So I will say nothing. I enjoyed the fuck out of this show.
Yeah, this is one of those episodes I had no problems with at all. It was just a fun ride the whole time. I loved the interaction with the Jinn, and when the Jinn said they're asking all the right questions, they're doing the right thing. It's just fucking annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so real. Like I love that shit because it's like that's what would happen in a modern age if someone did come across something like that. They're gonna be like,
with 52.
Oh, this motherfucker's watched too many movies. They know the right things.
He's like, all I'm trying to do is teach lessons, and you're making me stick to the word law. Okay, you're gonna think about Guillermo. Deal with it.
Yeah.
I also love the encounter where his wife like just sort of pops out from behind him. She's like, I finally get to go. Oh wait, no, that's the next one.
No, that's next episode.
Never mind. This episode is over. I have spoken not at all. I don't have anything queued up, but if you were gonna rate this, is it all 5 stars all the way?
Oh
or
yeah.
5 evil eyes?
Yeah, whatever it was they were doing.
I'll
give it 6 banana stickers.
Fuck yeah. That's a good score, people. We never got to 6 before.
Never ever.
5 was our cap. We should just move back to banana stickers. 4. I think it was 4.
I don't fucking remember.
You gave it 2 over the cap.
Yeah, because
that's
it's
just
that good.
That's just greedy.
And this next episode, ooh, buddy.
Oh, well, let's get to it. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Like it or not, evil spelled backwards is live, so live for fuck's sake. And be evil? I don't know. Where's the outro button?